Hey, hello, welcome to the FE1 podcast. This is your host with the most, Wayne, and this is the man in the pits with the tits, Brendan. Hello. Good evening. How is everybody? How is all our one listener out there? Hope he's all right. Oh, it's a he. Gave away the gender. They, she, he, her. Can you turn your mic up a bit, mate? Can you turn up? Oh, get a bit closer like this.
All right, okay.
Okay, we've got some proper segments going on this time. We're a bit more organised. Let me just... why have I started? If I started this, I've got to start this stopwatch. Go. Okay. There we go. Right, so let's go for our first section, which is... it's going to be called Pit Talk. I've got to... So what we're going to talk about? We're going to talk about the testing.
We need to talk about testing. I think one of the biggest things that happened in testing was the porpoising.
The porpoising. Now, I did read this. And I thought, what? It's the uppy downy, is it?
Yeah, so basically what happens is there's a load of downforce created by all the aerodynamics on the car.
Yeah.
To the point that it hits the ground. And then when it hits the ground, it stops the air going through, which means the downforce is stopped, which means the car goes back up again, which means loads of air rushes under, which forces the car down.
Yeah.
Ground, and it means the air stops on it. So it basically goes up and down and up and down. And the thing about it is none of the aerodynamicists that work for the teams are old enough to remember it from the 70s, your era of expertise.
Well, I don't want to say expertise, but just infatuation would be the word.
Relative to everything, you know. So that's the issue that they're having.
And most importantly, the drivers as well.
Yeah. Well, none of the engineers know how to fix it, but it's one of those things. They want to go fast. If they go slower, then they won't have the downforce, but if they go too fast, they'll have too much and they'll just porpoise all the way around.
So is that just like bouncing up and down? That's going to create a lot of vibration.
Yeah,
is it?
It's going to cause a lot of reliability issues. It's going to cause teeth injuries. Some people are worried about, because...
Oh, so no, that's been a little bit, Come on. They're elite athletes, aren't they? Wouldn't they get that when they get a flat spot? Wouldn't they get that with a flat spot? You just glad that down, fella. Yeah. Go on. I mean, they often talk about that before, like in the 60s and 70s, the vibrations. And if you've got a flat spot in your tyre, that would be the same kind of thing, wouldn't it?
Flat spot in the tyre you can put up with, and you can come in and get it changed and it'll be done. But if it's, especially in Barcelona where it's a big long straight, you're getting up to the top speed, which, the faster you go, the more downforce you've got, then the more you're,
Don't do that noise. It's not that kind of podcast. So that's the main thing. That's their main issue, you think?
I think that's one of the big issues that a lot of them have got to kind of resolve.
Yeah.
I think moving on to the next sort of thing is it was interesting seeing that Hamilton and Russell had differing body shapes and slightly different equipment on their cars.
Oh, let's have a look. Hamilton.
There was a side-by-side shot of car 44 and car 63. And
have you got that to hand for the podcast? Car shapes. I've seen a lot of...
It's the vents, basically.
Oh, I've seen a lot of those online where they've gone out once with the vents and a lot of them without the vents.
So, we mentioned it previously. There was differences in the teams, but both Aston Martins have them, both Ferraris have them, both Haas's have them. But Mercedes looked like they were trying one method for Hamilton without the vents, and then one method with the vents for Russell. Now, whether that was driver input or it was part of the test schedule, it'll be quite an interesting thing to keep an eye on going forward. just to see if is that Russell being a good second driver for Mercedes with a view to one day being the kingpin when Hamilton retires and being treated differently to Bottas, whereas Bottas was just a guy to sweep up the points behind Hamilton.
Yeah, it seemed like Bottas was your wingman and he wasn't going to get involved. He would just do the job for Hamilton. But this is more of a transitional sort of number two, if he's a number two. What will be interesting, and this kind of ties into something I'm going to talk about later, is if Russell's faster out the box, the team will have no choice but to make him number one. Discuss.
Yeah, there's a good chance of that. But I think, well, it kind of leads on to the whole sandbagging thing. You know, do they cut their nose off to spite their face? Would they develop the cars differently? I mean, Russell's got one of the big things that they said about McWilliams was that he's like an engineer in the car. He talks the engineer's language. He can converse with them at an equal level. He can communicate his needs and wants, the changes that he wants very well, almost above his station.
Who, Russell?
Yeah.
Really?
And that's, he said there was a lot of the improvements on the Williams was because of that, you know, and that's why he got a Saturday afternoon so quick, because they got it tuned a certain way due to the feedback that they got from George. But it was just one setup, you know, for qualifying, which wouldn't translate to a good setup for running the
yeah.
But it will be interesting to see who they support more. But it's going to be hard to judge that from what we see, you know.
So on the design, who do you think's really got it right over the summer? That's a big question there, isn't it?
I think Red Bull. Have you seen? If you get WhatsApp open, have you?
Oh, I will do now. Yeah, go on. Let's open it.
I'm going to send you a link. Hopefully, it should open.
There'll be a loud beep when you send it. Let me just.
It does. I think the Red Bull car is a good-looking car. It looks the way everyone kind of expected it.
Let's have a look. Let's get a picture of this Red Bull up.
Developed, I think, is what people said.
Yeah.
I saw this and thought it was funny. There you go.
There we go. We've got a big loud.
Didn't hear it.
Oh, good. That's good. Then the viewers won't hear it either. They don't want to hear that stuff. Let me just get this.
I thought this was quite funny. But yeah, I think the Red Bull, they've either got it, I think we said this last week, they've either got it spectacularly right or spectacularly wrong.
I see, yeah. It's a good looking car. So what do you think they've got? You mean just the aero package or?
Everything's slightly different to everybody else.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things, there's a lot of the noses that are 5-10% different, and then there's other ones that are there's 4 or 5 that are the same, 4 or 5 or 3 or 4 that are the same, 3 or 4 that are the same, and then there's Red Bull, whereas they're somewhere in between all of them, you know?
Yeah.
And they've not, you know, some teams have put their theory firmly in one camp over here, and some people over here, and Red Bull's just right in the mix with everything on every sort of aspect of it, you know.
And
floor design, where their intakes are, the shape of them. There's a little bit of Ferrari in there, a little bit of the undercut of the Mercedes, and
it's interesting. Like, what's interesting is, like you were saying about the porpoising and how the sort of, what is it again? The underneath aerodynamics. What was it called?
Downforce.
The downfall. The ground effect stuff. This is, I mean, none of them have ever done ground effect before. I don't know. I think sort of, is Patrick Head still around? He's not. Is he retired, Patrick Head? He must have retired, isn't he?
Don't know.
He was around during the 70s when the ground effect was starting to come out. But it's interesting that they're not experienced with the ground effect stuff. You could have seen that coming. And you can see quite clearly when they're going around the track, they're so high up at the front. And you think, it's quite funny to watch because it's just something I haven't seen an F1 car so high up the front like that for years, decades.
They're sucking down, so they need to put a limiter on there somewhere that will still allow the airflow to come through, but it won't stop. It will allow them to come down low enough to get the good ground force and the downforce as well.
Yeah.
Cut the air off. It won't, bottom the car out, which is what's happening basically.
Cool. So, who do you think? What team's looking good? I think McLaren are looking very good.
Yeah. And I think both McLaren and Ferrari are doing really well. They're the least likely to. Well, I think Ferrari might be doing some sandbagging. That's the next thing I was going to talk about. Who do you?
Go on in. Yeah.
I think Mercedes were definitely sandbagging the first couple of days.
For our stupid viewers and me, sandbagging would be just fibbing a bit or just not really showing their hand. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, there would be. The basic idea of sandbagging is you're putting bags of sand on to make it heavier and to make it so you can look like you're running flat out, but you run a big sandbag on your back. So that when we get to the race, all of a sudden, it's holding back your performance so that it gives the competitors a false idea of what you've got. Okay,
we're just gonna have a quick message from Murray now. And then I thought we could go to good race, bad race, somewhere in the middle. Obviously, there's not been a race. We're going to talk about testing. We're going to talk about drivers. What do you reckon?
Yeah.
Okay. Murray, take it away.
Like a ferry number drain pipe.
So thank you very much, Murray Walker there up in heaven. Thank you very much. Now we're going to do a segment. Let's wait for that clapping to stop. Let's get rid of this. We're going to do a segment called Good Race, Bad Race, somewhere in the middle. Obviously, we have had no race, but it's going to be about... I can't find the clip now. That's typical.
Top third one from the fourth.
Big balls, are you... where is it?
Top row, second from the right.
Top row, second from the right. That's right.
Wheel. Somebody tell him to give it to me. Come on.
Of course. There we go. That's good race, bad race intro. What do you think of that, guys? Hours of editing, technical ability. I do love the sound of Alonso getting irate. So, who do you think has had the best testing?
Well, I'd say the people that didn't crash.
So, who crashed?
Pierre Gasly crashed. Alonso crashed.
Did he?
Yeah.
I can't
and somebody else crashed as well. There's a couple of stops. The Alpha stopped out on track a couple of times.
Yeah, that's not a good sign, is it, when they're stopping? Who got the most laps in?
Ferrari.
Did they? Yeah, because they seem very reliable. And let's get the laps.
Are we allowed to say? About Ferrari's sort of questionable behaviour in the past regarding gentlemanly agreements?
Oh no, you can. You can say what you like. No one's listening.
The implication that they've cheated previously with their engine and your views on Pierre Gasly at Monaco and that sort of thing.
That was definitely a gentleman's agreement. You knew that.
Well, so given all that, and given the subject we've just spoken about, sandbagging, and have they gone clean all of a sudden, or they've just decided that they don't need to do it anymore, or why, or what do you think about that? What do you think about?
What you think that all of a sudden that Ferrari are playing clean?
Yes.
And being good boys. I don't think any of them are playing clean and being good boys.
Exactly. So,
I mean, this is why I kind of liked... Who was the team with the camouflage again?
Alfa Romeo.
I like the honesty about just putting the car out looking like that. I think that's... Yeah. I think that's a classy move because it's straight in your face. You're not looking at my car. You're not going to get any details off it.
Yeah.
So they don't even have to sandbag. They're letting you know. They're actually letting people know, don't look at my car. If you do, I thought that was a really clever move.
What do you think about the livery?
Their new livery?
Yeah, at least.
Well, part of me likes this horrible livery that last time I said I hated. I don't know.
Doesn't it?
It's not only that it grows on me. I could see that would confuse a driver driving behind. It's not so much when you're driving behind, but I don't know. When they're in the mirrors flashing around, you're not going to know who it is. I don't know. It's a really good tactic, like a military tactic, but it's a good tactic. Yeah.
The official livery.
Let's get the official livery. So, who were they again?
Alfa Romeo.
I know. Why do I get? Do you know it's the Alfa? Why do they need the Alfa thing in there? Is it some kind of masculine thing? Alfa Tauri, Alfa Romeo, Alfa.
It's got quite a heritage look to it. It looks.
That's right up my street, then, isn't it? A bit of heritage. To F1. Let's have a look. Images. Let's have a look at this.
There you go. Alfa unveil new livery. That one there. That shot there.
I can zoom in on my editing as well, you know, mate. I'm quite good at this.
Well done.
Thanks. Yeah. It's again. Yeah.
I like that.
I like that as well. Yeah. I think you can get away, but there's something about this now. I like this. It's almost like the bad boy, isn't it? It's the bad boy in the class. I'm not. I'm not going to pull my socks up. You tell me to pull my socks up. No, I'm going to do it. I'll do what I like. Wear what I want. I kind of like that idea that they're doing it. But yeah, it's got a good look. I think still my favourite is the Ferrari. I mean, but we're back. We're talking about cars here. We're talking about drivers. Let's get back to the drivers. Where is it? Barcelona pre-season testing. This is just the teams. I think Lando Norris has had a good one. I think Science. Yeah, what do you reckon?
Yeah, I've always liked Carlos Sainz, and he's kind of showing up Charles Leclerc a little.
I think he is as well.
Yeah, I think he's going to end up being the number one again.
Although Leclerc did get fastest lap. Total laps 439. How many Grand Prix is that?
That's a lot, isn't it?
That's a lot.
But yeah, I mean that's 2 or 3, isn't it?
Yeah, I'll take your word for that. It's more than oh Jesus, it's about 6, 7. Is it? I don't know. It depends on what track in it. What do we know? Depends on what track. Leclerc got the fastest lap. It's set. The drivers were quick to downplay the notion, and certainly there was plenty of experimentation in terms of the floor designs. There is room for improvement, but it is so far so good for prancing horses, and the car just looks phenomenal. They've chosen a deeper red, but we're back on cars again. Sorry, we're talking about.
Yeah, so Gasly crashed going into turn 5. He locked up and crashed.
Right.
I think it was.
I wonder if we would have to show the Gasly crash. Is there a video of that?
No, there's not. There's none of it was televised, really.
Yeah, that's what made it a little bit difficult for clips.
Yeah, there was like one corner that had cameras on it that everybody knew about, and that was that.
Yeah. And first two. So let's who got the worst running? It's going to be Haas, isn't it? Haas have got so much on their plate. It's got to be Haas. Yeah.
Alpine had smoke billowing out the rear. Yeah, so Seb Vettel and Fernando Alonso both had fires on the car.
Oh, geez. Yeah.
So that's going to be a concern. Either it's overheating or it's reliability. Smoke. It was an oil leak apart from the Aston Martin.
Bottas has not had a good testing at all, has he?
No.
There's a lot of problems with his car. Only 175 laps. Haas, let me just say now, fastest lap. Look. Who's that, eh?
Yeah, because Schumacher didn't get out.
Didn't get out at all? But at least Michael Schumacher managed 66 laps in the afternoon sun. Reliability woes solved. It was on to day 3, but disaster struck again, this time in the form of an oil leak that limited Mazepin to just 9 laps and his teammate to none at all. They are most definitely playing catch-up. Well, when haven't they been playing catch-up, for Christ's sake? I mean, let's be honest.
Jeremy Clarkson, you said about Mazepin?
Yeah, I did thought it was a little bit mean, but it's a bit of bounce, though, isn't it, eh? Bit of bounce.
It was that he could, if he wanted to race in Russia, he could go into the
race on his own and he still end up last. Technically, if he was racing on his own, he'd be last and first, wouldn't he? But let's not pick holes in that. 12-old Nick. No, I'm not beating down on Nicky this time. No, leave Nicky alone. Right, so Alonso.
I think it's hard. I think we'll find out more at the in Bahrain, in the testing in Bahrain.
And when is that, sir?
The 14th of March, I think.
Yeah, that's great. It's great that we're
the 11th.
Right. It's good that we're so prepared for this. That Williams does look all right in that shot there, I think. Quite a terrible cold. Sorry, viewers and listeners, or listener. I've got a terrible cold, and no, just tough. You have to deal with it, wouldn't you? So you're just checking out when the testing is? Is that what you do?
Yeah. So. I saw it on Instagram or something earlier, and I should have saved it.
You should have done, yeah.
Should have done it. Yeah, so I think it's 11th of March is Drive to Survive launch, and then that weekend it's the Bahrain testing, and then it's the Grand Prix after that.
I still haven't watched that Drive to Survive. Would that season be last year? Or is each season one whole season?
Yes.
That's going to be a good one then, isn't it?
I mean, you need to watch the other ones. If you watch the build up, and especially knowing and take it with a pinch of salt. And this is Max Verstappen's issue with it, is that a lot of it's edited for story.
Max Verstappen, and I've looked at a lot of interviews this week. Max Verstappen, he does tend to moan a bit, doesn't he?
Yep.
And a little bit babyish. Like, I don't know. He's a sulker, if you ask me.
And then there's, I think Hamilton churns out the same comments all the time. I'd like to thank all the guys back in the factory and in the pit lane, and good on him for thanking them. I'm not belittling that, but his commentary on when he's asked a question, how have you prepared? Team doing, he says the same thing. He just changes the words around, right?
Cookie cutter kind of statements.
Exactly, good definition. Whereas you get somebody like Seb Vettel who actually speaks his mind, and you genuinely believe that it's not something that a press man has told him to say.
Yeah.
It might be tarnished a little bit. You might see a little bit of a polish here and there.
Yeah.
From press guys, but I think he's genuine, and I think Bottas, I think you'll see that side of Bottas coming out as well now with Alpha and the prick kind of.
A little bit more freedom, a little bit less corporate speak, and a little bit more freedom.
And I think Vettel's got 4 championships in the bag, and I think Max to find himself a bit better.
And I think Max just seems to speak his mind when he's having a hissy fit, but never. I don't know. Yeah. It just feels like talking about Vettel. This is one thing I wanted to cut. First of all, let's just quickly. I can hear Murray Walker wants to say something, so we'll just go to him. Yeah.
No, my goodness!
Thank you, Murray Walker. Lovely.
Nice one.
A lot of applause for Murray tonight. Okay, so for Vettel, let's talk about something not racing at all. Let's talk about this hair. What's going on with this dude?
What has he been doing? It's like that picture there of him sitting with the mask on. Yep, that one.
Right.
What product has he used to bring that back, or was that a slip of the...
It's got to be the hair transplant, isn't it? He's got to gone for it. It's the acceptable man's toupee now, isn't it? The hair transplant.
Is it?
Well, yeah. He must have. I mean, and do you know what? If you're Vettel and someone asks you on camera, just go, yeah, I did. Just that. It's not like back in Russ Abbott days where it looked like, it looked ridiculous. Yeah, poor old Russ Abbott. No, this guy's. You can see that. Yeah, he must have just shaved it all off and thought, right, I've got a few million in the bank. Why not just have it fixed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here
he is here. He's obviously losing it here. And here as well. Look, good on. You got to love Vettel.
He looks like he's been dragged through a hedge, but do you know what? When you've got 4 championships in your pocket, you can do that. 4
championships, millions in the bank. I don't care what your hair looks like, to be honest.
Yeah.
Oh, what's going on here? There's a bit of a meme thing going on there. Oh, I don't know what this hair is. This is a bit, bad boy, isn't it? That one. This is his Ferrari days. He didn't have a good time in Ferrari, old Vettel, did he?
No, he didn't. It's funny how some people, it's their dream, it brings out the best in them. And some people, it absolutely, it just doesn't sit with them at all. They just can't do anything.
Yeah, that's right, mate. That's right. So I think we should get to another segment called Big Balls. I don't know who we're going to say has got big balls, but we'll find someone. We'll chat about it. And let me just play the intro to Big Balls I've worked incredibly hard on.
Big balls.
There we go.
So just outline what the subject matter of this section should be.
Well, you're talking over the clap.
Oh.
What was that, sir?
Just outline what the content of this should be.
It should be anyone who's done amazing in the race. Oh my God! Or done some particularly good dives and overtake manoeuvres. So, like in the last race of the season, there was a lot of, and then we're not talking about Hamilton of. Sorry.
Abu Dhabi. Sorry.
Was that one? Like nothing happened. That one. It was just it was one of those boring ones. No one likes F1. No overtaking.
Latifi went on fire.
Latifi went on fire. But what was it? There was a great overtake by Tsunoda, I think, in that race.
Some great racing in the background of that.
There was. And it just goes, I'm going to do the argument again. I don't care. It's when someone in the back does it, it's dangerous. And when someone does it at the front, it's, he got his elbows out. Now, Tsunoda did a dive down, first corner, made a brilliant overtake. And everybody was just like, oh. So Big Balls is going to be the driver we think has had the biggest balls during the race and made the best overtaking moves, or said something over the radio, which is Big Balls. I do like a comment on the radio. As you know, I mean, we can go to, I don't know what the Hulk says here.
Fucking hell! That was fucking stupid from whoever was at the front. They want to kill us or what? Whoever did that should be fucking banned.
That is what you call someone with big balls. He's just going to say it, right?
Yeah, and he'll take it up with whoever caused it.
Yeah, and there's a bit of Alonso karma from Alonso. Yeah, I like that. That's going to be the main gist of it. And none of the team principals are involved in this big ball scene because they're not really driving, are they? They're not in the car.
They're not putting their skin on the line.
No skin in the game. No skin in the game. That's what this segment's going to be. And so who do you think had big balls last year? And Hamilton and Vettel don't count.
Hamilton and Vettel?
Not Vettel. No, not Vettel. Oh my God. Well, let's play the that's the noise we play when we make a mistake, or this one. Not Hamilton.
I think Sergio Perez did, the Mexican Minister for Defense did an awesome job when he was asked to. When he was flat out racing, he did a great job. And risky moves.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we saw it more because he was up at the front a lot of the time. There may have been others further down. How about you guys can comment and put some comments down here?
Someone, for the love of God, put a comment. I don't care if it's anything. Just give us some ideas down in the comments about who you think had big balls last year. Yeah, Perez was doing the job that Bottas dreamed he could do. Would you suggest? I mean, keeping someone behind, that's making your car extra wide. Yeah. Who else last year? I'm going to say, I wouldn't have said
Lando staying out with slick tyres on when he should have been putting inters on.
I think that Grand Prix, I'm telling you, doing the math for that Grand Prix, I'm telling you, Verstappen could have got a lot higher up, or potentially could have won that if he'd have timed his pit stop right. I think we talked about that, didn't we? It was a timing issue there. I don't know if that's big balls or inexperience.
I think knowing that there's rain on the track and thinking that you can bluff it out.
Okay, go on.
It's a combination of big balls and lack of experience.
Yeah, giving it a go.
Yeah.
But I think 2021 drivers just don't want just that to say 2020 drivers. Let's just get this on. On drivers F1. I'm going to go through. I'm going to give.
Have you used Google before?
I do. I have, yeah, just once or twice.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go through why I think. So let's go for Hamilton and Verstappen. We're going to knock out Bottas. He just sealed his own fate last year. Some of the mistakes.
I think he's a good driver, but I think he's a selfish driver. And I don't mean selfish in a bad way. I think he just...
Well, really? Selfish in a good way? Is there a selfish in a good way?
Well, Hamilton's selfish in a good way, isn't he? I mean, if you're number one driver, you can be selfish. If you're number two driver, you can't be selfish like that. I would say.
Okay. I say Hamilton... I don't know what I'm doing here with this Google thing. I'm clicking on things. Hamilton, so Bottas, I don't know, he sealed his own fate. He must have known. I think Danny Rick had a terrible year last year. Would you agree? He did not have big balls.
He had a lot of scrutiny.
Yeah.
He had...
I think for Danny Rick, I'm going to play some sad music for Danny Rick. Here we go.
Really?
Yeah. I think he's not got. If he doesn't have a good year this year, then he's out. He's out. I just think if he. I'll stop that music now. Shut up. I think if he doesn't perform this year, he's going to be looking at going the same way as Bottas. And that's a shame because he's shown some amazing talent in previous years. But no,
yeah,
I think
so a lot of drivers. I mean, the Hulk never won a race, did he?
The Hulk should be back. I think the guy deserves a better. What?
Why?
Because he did a sterling job standing in. He did a standing job. Was it last year? The year before? And because I like him, I don't care. It's not about talent sometimes. I'm telling you now, I'm not interested. Now, who's another one that's had a terrible...
Eighth in the Drivers' Championship last year. That's pretty good. First season with a new team.
He just didn't cut it in that. I don't know. I'm just a horrible person. Who's another one? I think Nicholas Latifi as well. I think Nicholas Latifi, it's not looking good. It's not looking good. I'm putting the sad music on again.
Yeah, but again, that's Daddy's influence as well, isn't it?
All these paid drivers. I think he's on his way out. I do.
I mean, we all know your thoughts on Nicky.
Nicky, I'm definitely putting the music on for poor old Nicky.
If
and this as well.
However you pronounce it. now that they've pulled their sponsorship.
Oh, let's turn that music off. Go on, I'm listening.
This is the question I was asking you during the week. Now that the sponsorship has gone, is Nicky the best driver available to Haas? Without that
wallet, that big fat shiny wallet, is he the best?
Is there somebody else better? Is Fittipaldi better than him? Basically,
I just don't like that whole kind of Fittipaldi, another son of another. Is it a son or is that a grandson now? That's a grandson now.
Yeah. Son and a grandson. Oh.
It's not a meritocracy, is it? I mean, and they're always not as good, are they?
They've always been there. It's just necessary evil, isn't it, for part of the...
Damon Hill, maybe, Villeneuve, but all the others like Bruno Senna, what a shocker. What a shocker, Bruno. Nelson Piquet Jr., as we know, would happily drive his car into a wall to help Alonso. That's a team player. What we want you to do, Nelson, is drive it into the wall in that corner, risking your life so that Alonso can win this race. Yes, boss. Brilliant. That's a team player, so you can't knock him for that. Who else is on the way out? Who has gone already? This is last year's. So Mazepin, we're talking.
Kimi has gone.
Kimmy's gone. Kimmy has gone.
Kimmy's got some balls, eh?
Kimmy's always had some balls. There's a great shot of him doing an overtake through a cloud of smoke.
Yeah.
Oh my God, just straight through.
Yeah. 11 places in 3 laps or something that was in one of the races.
Yeah, Kimmy is the man. He's going to be... Which one's Giovinazzi again?
The one to the right of Kimi.
He's gone, is he?
Yeah. He's in Formula E. He was being touted as a...
Oh, my nose.
Well, I think he was being touted as a replacement for Mazepin if he was subject to political suspension.
Is it Ocon a paid driver? Am I right in assuming that?
I don't think so, no.
I was pretty sure he was.
I wouldn't think Renault or Alpine would have a paid driver. Do you know what I mean? They don't need the money.
Yeah.
It's like Red Bull don't need a paid driver. Mercedes don't need paid drivers. McLaren don't. Ferrari don't.
Let's get the 22 line up again. Let's just have a look at them. 22 line, F1 2022, Ricardo, Norris, Ocon. I think Ocon's on his way out. Let's get some... I think Ocon. I'm going for Ocon last year. Let's make our predictions for his last year. You don't reckon Ocon's on the way out?
No, he did really well. He was up in the mix.
Yeah, but you can be up one day. Shut up. You can be up one day and down the rest. And Albon's a bit of a... Albon would
be another... Ocon could be another Hulkenberg. Although I think he's got some wins already.
Has he? Has Ocon won a race? Ocon's won one race. And they were talking... I'm sure it's Canada. Let me just see. I don't know what year.
He won the Hungarian.
Let's see if I can spell it right this time. Let's just not embarrass myself.
He won the Hungarian Grand Prix this year.
I'm just going to apologise to anybody who stumbles.
Championship.
Podium 2, highest grid position 3rd. Hold on. Highest grid position, date of birth. Oh, Jesus, 1996. Jesus Christ, I remember that year.
Yeah.
Entered podiums, 2 podiums. Grid position.
Another one that's managed by Toto Wolff.
Mm-hmm.
He's part of that camp of drivers. So he's, it'll be difficult to get him out, if you know what I mean.
Why can't I get the stats on him? Well, it's telling me podiums. He's a famous French marquis first F1 win. Halfway. I don't know if these sort of fluky wins. Do they count? Gasly is the one that's for me is the most secure out of the not good drivers. I'd say Gasly is fantastic. Gasly's really good. He's really shone.
Is this going to be? Is he going to stay with AlphaTauri, or do you think he'll?
I think if he has another good year, he's going to get an offer from a big name, and he'll pick up Danny Rick's. I'm going to say he's going to pick up Danny Rick's place. Oh, he's made a. Yeah.
Do Formula One.
Hello?
We're doing that now. I'm telling you, Gasly. And right, so come on, let's be honest. Alonso, is he going to stick around for another year? Who's going to take that place? Let's do it. Let's cut out the pictures, and we can make up next year's teams.
He came back. He's admitted that 2021 was a warm-up year for this year. He came back for the new regulations, the new car, and the challenge of getting it all set up and getting it all done proper.
Right.
I think proving himself for team management and team principal sort of positions.
Yeah.
And I think this is part of it. It's part of El Plan. Well, they went on fire as well. And
see if I can get a better picture of the boys.
He'll do a couple of seasons and then he'll be gone. We'll see how Alpine got on with Otmar and
Oh, sorry. Am I keeping you up, mate? Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, viewers. I mean, viewer. Sorry, viewer. Obviously, keeping Brendan up here. The man in the pits with the tits is going to sleep.
What's your trigger point to have a living like
So I think that I look at. Oh, why is this not coming up here? Do you know what? I don't know if I have used Google Images before. The whole of Albon and Latifi, just really.
Alex Albon is a good driver, I think. He's worked.
I'd say the whole of that team, the whole of the winners team, are going to have a new lineup next year. That's my prediction. I say Albon's gone, Latifi's gone. I'm saying they're going to be completely new drivers, and you're the man that knows who's coming up.
Do you think Perez will stay at Red Bull?
I think so. I think he's solid. Because Verstappen's their number one guy, and they need someone solid, and he's proved himself. He's not a Bottas.
Will he want more?
Will he want more? No, I think this is his last bite of the cherry. And the thing is, Perez missed out on. He went to McLaren at one point. When was that? That was like late noughties. When was Perez in McLaren? He got a couple of seasons in McLaren, or one season, I'm sure.
Hang on.
Oh, you're going to be faster than me?
Mm-hmm.
Perez, I'll put Wiki. Let's just see.
He was in McLaren 2013.
Oh, right. That was
one season.
One season in McLaren. Behind, with
McLaren.
So 2013, who was his number two? Who was number one driver in McLaren then? It was still Hamilton, wasn't it? When did Hamilton go to Jenson Button and Perez?
Yeah. It was when Hamilton left McLaren to go to Mercedes.
Okay.
His teammate Jenson Button, yeah.
Jenson Button was good.
And he fought with him. So he's not always behaved himself as a teammate.
What, actually fought?
Yeah. Touched wheels on a couple of occasions on the way around.
He didn't have a good season with McLaren. And that would, for him, that must have been a big opportunity. Where was he before that? He was probably with...
Sauber.
I thought it was Sauber. I was going to say that, see? Old knowledge.
Of course you are, yeah.
Up there for dancing.
Down there for... So his teams were Sauber, McLaren, Force India, then Racing Point. That was from 2014 through to 2020, and then Red Bull. But interestingly, when he was leaving Racing Point, they said that he had somewhere set for 2022. So it'd be interesting to hear, and it might come out way down the line, that he had been offered a seat for this season, but because he got the Red Bull seat, he backed out on it.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
karting. Skip Barber. Perez competed in the United States Skip Barber National Championship. Sauber. I mean, they've always got somewhere to go. They always bugger off to IndyCar, don't they? All of them. Yeah. All those wannabes that didn't really make it. So Gutierrez, all of them. I don't know if Gutierrez did. Mansell, yeah, but hey, you can't knock Mansell. I'll win F1. This brings us on to, we'll have a quick word from Murray. And then we're going to bring us on to our final segment, which is nostalgia, which is what I want to talk about.
Perfect segue.
Perfect segue. So let's have a quick word from Murray.
Unless I'm very much mistaken.
There you go. That's well done. Murray's always got something good to say.
A big friend of our Nigel.
Big friend of Nigel. And so now I'm going to play this segment. I know you can't even see. You can't hear it, can you? Is that what you're saying?
No.
But you can see it on the screen.
Yeah.
Well, you'll be able to hear it and see it when I do the edit. Nostalgia. There we go. Bit of nostalgia coming up now. That's what I want to talk about. Where did we leave off there? We were talking about who? Who were we talking about? Gutierrez, Sebastian Buemi. He went off to IndyCar as well, didn't he? I just wanted to talk about what I've been reading.
Yeah. So Mansell, sorry, can we just
go on? Let's follow up on Mansell.
Mansell left Formula One and then did a season in IndyCar.
Yeah,
is the only driver ever to be a reigning F1 world champion and an IndyCar champion at the same time.
Was it at the same time? Did he win the IndyCar after the end of the Formula One season the next year? That's an interesting point.
According to Wikipedia,
which is the bastion of truth.
We go on to score 5 wins for the 1993 kart season, which with more high place finishes was good enough to earn him the championship. This enabled Mansell to become the only driver in history to hold both the Formula One and CART championships at the same time. When he won the 1993 championship, he was still the reigning F1 champion. The 1993 F1 championship.
Brilliant.
Yet.
It's brilliant that our podcast has just turned out to us reading out Wikipedia. Welcome to the F1 podcast, where we'll be reading out this page of Wikipedia. So yeah, I wanted to talk about some of the books I've got, which I will be getting through, and I never had time. Okay, at the moment I'm reading.
Chatterley's Lover, is that one of them?
What?
Lady Chatterley's Lover or 50 Shades
Unless
of publications?
I'm going to say that they're all a little bit more entertaining than probably some of the books I've got. Right? So what I'm doing now is I'm reading a lot about James Hunt, because I thought I'd start where I love that season. I'm reading a lot. I want to get past the myth of James Hunt.
I don't know who the man is.
The man.
Yeah. Man behind.
So let me just get these books up. I'm going to show this. If you're listening on audio, tough. So I've got 2 books here. I've got one called Shunt. That's not working, is it? Anybody can see that. It's called Shunt. I'm kind of reading. I'm just going to concentrate on his championship year, which is quite interesting. And do you know, like when I showed you that video the other day when he was just slapping about that Marshall after he got knocked out of the race?
Yeah.
2 interesting things about Hunt and his pugnacious nature. Yeah, I can use big words. Pugnacious. Google it, people.
I might have to.
Was the video I showed you was posted by the son of the guy who got punched. So when I looked down in the description, it said, "This is a video of my dad being punched by James Hunt." I thought, oh my God, and I liked it, and I left a little comment.
Wicked.
That is wicked, isn't it? This guy found this video.
Who are you? What's your claim to fame? On my dad was punched by James Hunt.
That is just that's almost genius. That is almost
podcast.
I'm gonna. Do you know what? That is a cracking idea, fella. I'm gonna try and contact him through Google. Let's just get him as a guest, and just to say what his dad was doing on that day when he was punched by James Hunt. The other thing was, reading this book here, Shunt. I do have another one, I'm holding this up, which is just a typical biography of James Hunt. I'm going to read that one as well. He won the Spanish Grand Prix in 1976, which was then taken away from him and then given back to him. How oddly. His car was like half a centimetre too wide. Well, anyway, when he won the race, he pulled in the pits, got out the car and summarily punched a spectator in the face. I mean, it's just... The guy, he's won a race and he's punching people. He's losing races and punching people. What is wrong with the man?
Why did he punch the spectator in the...
He just got in the way. There's a great shot of him, and this is...
Either punched him or ran him over. I think he took the less violent choice.
Yeah, just like I've won a race, and this guy just must have got in his way and just said, "Oh, hello." I have no idea. It just says he got out the car and a spectator got in his way and he punched him. Right. That's how you treat your fans. Utter contempt. They will always love you if you treat your fans utter contempt. But so I want to get a full knowledge of this man because there's so many myths about him. I was recently watching another podcast on YouTube and I've forgotten the name of it. I'm very sorry, guys, but they read this story about how he won his last race in Japan, where he'd gone out a couple of nights before, he disappeared the week before and spent it with 32 or something air stewardesses while sniffing coke and getting drunk, just banging away like a legend. And then got in the car and won the. I might put a link to in the description down there. Point. Okay, I'm down there of that podcast story. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. And let's go for some of my old books. Okay, I've got a little biography of Nigel Mansell. Prix. I think this is. When was this? This is when he joined McLaren, a terrible year for him. And you've only got to look at the picture of the McLaren car in that year. I'm going to get through that because I'm a big Mansell fan, seen him win the British Grand Prix.
You know what his job was before he was a race car driver?
He was a bobby. Not the Isle of Man, in the Isle of Wight. Was it Isle of Man or Isle of Wight?
And his son.
He's still a part-time bobby though, isn't he? He was still. These are original old books from the season of 1988, the BBC guides, and this is Murray Walker's guide to 1987. Good Murray, and it's obviously no one can see any of that. I'll maybe put a picture of it or something somewhere. But there's another one here, another book I've got. Professor Sid Watkins, who. Why is it the magic never... Here we go. Beyond the Limit. I'm going to read that too, because Professor Sid Watkins was one of those doctors in the car driving around behind, and he was there on that fateful day when Ayrton Senna da Silva was tragically killed. And I want to hear his... Yeah, it's a bit morbid, isn't it? Yeah. Or maybe I should put the sad piano music on when I'm talking about this. But maybe not.
Yeah. People in different ways, you know, so...
But it's called Beyond the Limit. So it's got a forward by Jackie Stewart. And so I've been getting right into my history. So the nostalgia segment will be me reading something or getting my head around a driver or a team, an old team, or just some old classic nostalgia stories, which are a lot more fun than the corporate speak that we have today. And then that's what this segment will be. So I'm going to leave all the new stuff to you, mate.
All right, thank you very much.
And I'm going to do all the nostalgia stuff. And I think we're about done, aren't we? What do you reckon? You got anything more to say? Man with the tits in the pits?
I think Murray might have to say.
Murray's got something to say. We have give Murray the last word, and then we'll sign off. Murray, off you go.
But 4 cars in the lead are both on a 2-stop strategy.
Thank you, Murray Walker. Thank you. Okay. And that has been the Effing One podcast, and hopefully we'll see you when after the next testing, which we have no idea when it is because we're not that professional. And hopefully, smash the like button and subscribe. Just one person, one comment. I don't care if you say it's shite. I don't care anything, or correct us. If we say something wrong, which is going to be a high percentage of the time, just let us know in the old comments. Okay? And I'll see you later. Bye. There we go.